They're demanding 150 rand, and these are seasonal farm workers. They're demanding 150 rand daily. The sectoral determination provides for 69 rand daily. So, the drama yesterday, vehicles were pelted with stones in the Durans on the N1 there. 44 people have been taken into police custody as a result of that. Let's cross to Nomawethu Solwandle now.
All right, Nomawethu, good morning to you.
Good morning, Leanne. Well, things are still very quiet down here in the Durans. Farm workers start gathering at about 8:30 to 9 o'clock, and the numbers start increasing gradually as the day progresses. Now, things really got out of hand here yesterday as farm workers clashed with police. But to tell us more about how the negotiations are going at this stage, we are now joined by Nosy Petersen, who is the Secretary General of BAWUSA. Good morning, Nosy. Thank you so much for joining us. Nosy, just briefly, how are negotiations going at this stage?
Currently, no real negotiations are taking place. As we have indicated, the negotiating table has been abandoned by AG SA and AG Western Cape, and they have said that they have no interest in collective bargaining and that the process that they support is the process of the sectorial determination, and anything else has to be referred to a farm-on-farm negotiations. So currently there's no negotiations taking place. We believe that we have to force the Boers to the table, and the only way to force them is with this strike action.
We understand that negotiations at farm level deadlocked, but so is there a chance that you can get them to negotiate? Because as things stand at the moment, the strike is getting more violent and nothing is coming forward.
You see, the thing is that AG SA have propagated publicly the negotiations at farm-to-farm level, but in circulars to their own members, they indicate to them that they must hold out and not embark on these kind of negotiations, and they had to wait for the minister to promulgate the new sectorial determination. And we believe that with that kind of bad faith partners, there is no way forward.
Now, Nosy, we also understand that the numbers of the people taking part in the strike have also dwindled a bit. Could this be attributed to the fact that there are people that are willing to work? Now, you did say yesterday that you are hoping to use the Durans as a trend. Have you managed to maybe mobilize other farm workers in other areas?
Firstly, we must not forget the success of pre-strike and post-strike intimidation of striking workers by farmers. They have really succeeded in intimidating large numbers of farm workers. However, I must report here, if you go now to the other areas, whilst the Durans is still now quiet, and we're waiting for people to get back to the streets, the other areas like Bonnevale and those areas, Robertson, they are already out there on the streets. Bonnevale has been brought to a complete standstill, and we know that areas like Grabouw and those other areas in Verliesdorp, they will all be out in full force today. As we indicated yesterday, the Durans is the trendsetter, and true to form, it set the trend, and others is following suit today.
Now, you talk about setting the trend. Now, yesterday we were here, we witnessed farm workers stoning cars, blocking the N1. Now, union leaders were here yesterday to call for calm and less violence. But how much control do you have over these farm workers?
I had all the control over those crowd, whether they were members of BAWUSA or not. I took them on a peaceful march onto the N1, and it was for everyone to notice that not a single stone was thrown at the police. Two Nyalas drove right to us from behind, and they took up position ahead of us, and from there they started shooting at us. No warning, nothing, without a single stone being thrown. I admit that when I arrived here, stones were thrown on the N1, but after I took charge of the situation, then no single stone was thrown at anybody. However, after they have shot me, I lost complete control, because when I want to talk to the count, their response was, "No, they shot you, my leader."
Now, as it stands, Nosy, farm workers are not being paid, and they've already had a bleak Christmas. How far are you willing to take the strike? Very briefly.
Farm workers have a bleak life, not only a bleak Christmas. And if something radical doesn't happen now, they have a bleak future. And we must bring an end to that. Hence, we have embarked upon this form of action. And I operate on the mandate because my organization is a mandate-driven organization. And I operate on the mandate given by the farm workers. And their mandate is they will continue until they get what they want.
Thank you very much. Well, that was Nosy Peterser, the Secretary General of BAUSA, telling us more about how they're going to take the strike forward. With that, it's back to you in the studio.